And hello, everybody. Welcome back to the TV show. I'm Jay Black, and I'm joined, as always, by Rhea Hughes and Angelo Cataldi. How are you guys?
Great. Awesome. There's been a lot of sports in the past week, but we still keep watching TV shows.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a pretty wild Philadelphia sports time, and I know it's very busy. So I appreciate you guys continuing to come on. I don't know if you can tell from behind me, I am in my room in Las Vegas. I'm at Brad Garrett's room, and I'm so disappointed. Brad Garrett was supposed to be here this week. He's not. I wanted to get an interview with him because he's such a big TV star.
Yep.
Talk about the different stuff he's done. Yep. But he canceled at the last second because he got a TV role. So
there you go.
I'm sorry I can't make it out there. So
why is that Showgirl in the background? You got a Showgirl in there. I can see it, Jay.
Well, luckily my wife does not listen to anything I produce, so she will not be hearing that or be upset. They do have showgirls that walk around on the street out here, and they try to dupe men into getting pictures with them. I don't know if you've seen this. Yeah, they walk around. They walk around in their showgirl outfits, and they go, "Hey, how about a picture?" And then afterwards, they go, "That'll be $40." That's what they do. Yeah, really? But my favorite thing is I go to one of the food courts around here that all of the other entertainers go to, and you will always see the showgirls come up to eat pizza in their full showgirl outfit. So you just see them on their phone eating a super pretzel while dressed as a showgirl, and you go hey, I don't think the allure kind of goes away when you see them eat a pretzel. All right, so let's get to it. I wanted to start with a show that I discovered while preparing for my plane trip out here. I watched the entire show on the way out. It's a new Ryan Murphy show. And if you don't know Ryan Murphy, he's the guy I guess most famous for doing American Horror Story on Fox. He signed one of those mega Netflix contracts back in 2018. It was him and Shonda Rhimes both signed $250 million development deals. And he's produced a lot of schlock for them. I mean, he's a schlock meister. That's what he does. He produces schlock. He did a TV show called Hollywood for them that kind of came and went. And he just recently did the Dahmer series, was Ryan Murphy. And this is his other big one that just came out. It's getting really good notices. And they're saying it's the first real hit that Ryan Murphy has produced for Netflix. So I wanted to get your opinion on it. If you guys got a chance to see it and what you thought of it.
Well, if you want to start, I saw the whole thing. I saw all 7 episodes, and I will say I was absolutely intrigued from the first episode. The one you recommended last week, The Bad Sisters, didn't grab me. This grabbed me. It's almost like a Harlan Coben novel on TV. And I was worried about the horror part. There's not really any horror in it. There's, suspense and all that. Here's what I will say. It's a classic example of a series that instead of being 7 episodes, should have been 4 episodes. And what I can tell you is I began to fast forward through the last 3 episodes because I'm going, okay, I don't need this. I don't need, it was like they had 10 different writers in it. And it's like, let's drop 1,000 red herrings. But I will tell you and I know, Angie, we're going to get to Angie. She's only seen a couple. Through the first 3 episodes, I was massively hooked, totally into the concept of these people move into their dream home and then they start getting these threatening letters. Naomi Watts, I love her. I did not love her in this role. I thought she was a bit of a milquetoast, I guess is the best word for me to say. Jennifer Coolidge, who I normally love, I love her because she's never the bad guy. And she was a bit of a bad person in this. So I didn't love her as much. Bobby Cannavale, am I pronouncing that right?
Bobby Cannavale, yes. I love Bobby Cannavale.
I do too. I do too when he was good. And as I mentioned to you, there is one sex scene in the beginning between Naomi Watts and Bobby. They are parents of teenagers. They've clearly been together at least 20 to 25 years. And I found it a little bit hard to believe. But outside of that, I really liked the story up through the first couple episodes. I was disappointed in the ending.
Yeah.
Let me get in here.
Sorry,
Naomi Watts in a sex scene. Normally, I would never complain about that, but Rhea's one, right? Not only the sex scene, but the fact that they were so ridiculously affectionate after being together so many years. Jay, I don't think you write Lifetime movies. You're not all over your wife all day, are you? I don't think so.
I would be if she let me. But yeah, I mean, I've been married 18 years, and I can say that, once you have teenagers and once you have, I have 3 kids, we do not get a chance to touch each other the way we did. And
the kids were in the house. That's what I wasn't buying. Yeah. The kids were in the house, and here's this massive sex scene going on. I'm like, yeah, I'm thinking no.
All right, let me just give you the other things. I didn't want to watch it because I don't like horror and I don't like Ryan Murphy, but I really do like Naomi Watts and I do like Bobby Cannavale and Bobby Cannavale, Rhea. Bobby Cannavale in this movie. Tell me he would not play a perfect Jay Wright, the coach of Villanova.
Absolutely.
The way he walks, the suits, he's Jay Wright.
No, he dresses real. They are I will say this, they are a beautiful couple. They are absolutely, they're the couple I expect that lives on the main line, and they're very beautiful, but no, he would play a perfect Jay Wright.
And Mia Farrow, I don't think I've seen her in anything since Rosemary's Baby. We've been for 40 years.
The one thing I didn't like, she plays a bit of a kook, she's like, kind of, never finish the arc. Character.
Yeah.
No, I'm going to say I'm halfway through. I'm probably going to finish, although after what Rhea just said, maybe not. You saw the whole thing, Jay. Are you recommending it?
So here's the thing. I will say it ends on an ambiguous note. And I don't really want to spoil things for people, but it ends ambiguously. And I was talking to Rhea about this before we started filming. I will say this. They base it on a true story, and the true story ends ambiguously. However, they change so much of the original story. Think of an ending. Just tell us who it was. Because it feels like, like how like teenagers will write a story and they'll end ambiguously. I used to teach high school English and they'd be like, mysterious, isn't it? I would go, yeah, mysteriously terrible. Put an ending. Tell me what happens. Because they build all of this up. Although I liked that it went off the rails. I mean, it's hard to do that. So there's something appealing about like Bobby Cannavale's character begins to spiral like crazy. I think
I will say this. I watched all 7 episodes. So clearly I was intrigued enough to try to figure out what happened. Yeah. So I will say I enjoyed it. I didn't like that there was an ambiguous ending and that it could have probably been condensed, but I would tell someone, it's not like I wouldn't recommend Bad Sisters. I would recommend The Watcher with some caveats.
Okay. That's fair.
And one of the things that I really grabbed me about it is it's weird. It's a weird show. It sometimes veers into camp. Sometimes it's just on the edge of camp. Yes. There's a lot of stuff that, you watch that first episode, just like The Neighbors. It was Mo and
Big Mo and Mitch.
Big Mo and Mitch. Mitch and Mo dressed identically.
Oh my God.
in lawn chairs, just watching everything that goes on. Like, it's a freaky scene. It's very David Lynch is the way I thought about it. And it got me thinking about weird TV shows because, like, especially when we were growing up, TV shows weren't weird generally because they had to appeal to everybody. Shows have gotten weirder as it's become a niche. But it's a show like this stands out sometimes because it's so weird. And I just wanted to ask you guys if you have any favorite weird shows from the past that you watched that you were really digging. And when I say about this, I talk about like American Horror Story by Ryan Murphy's weird. Twin Peaks is one that was very weird back in the 90s. Till Death, because I was thinking about that because I was in Brad Garrett's room this week. That was a Brad Garrett show that Fox basically forgot was on the air. So the last season, they just turned it into a show that knew it was a sitcom and started making references to other sitcoms Brad had been on. It made jokes about the fact that Fox wasn't paying attention. It was basically like when you leave a message in your essay to your teacher, like, I don't think you're really reading this. It was basically that. and it was a show that I wasn't interested in, really. Don't be mad, Brad, if you're listening, until that fourth season when it got really weird. So, like, what's a weird show from your TV watching history that kind of stands out to you?
Jay, I'll give you, there's a whole genre of really the predecessor to all that you're talking about. Obviously, The Twilight Zone, The Outer Limits, Alfred Hitchcock, Night Gallery, all those shows. That's 50s, 60s, 70s. I was addicted to them. The twist ending. Alfred Hitchcock would come out, good evening. I loved all that stuff. It makes it harder for me to love this stuff because I don't think it's at the same level. The writing is not as good. Rod Serling was one of the greatest screenwriters in the history of the medium of television. And there are very few people that write at that level now. And Ryan Murphy schlock is never going to reach that level for me.
It's I would agree with you. It's a very good point. Rod Serling, I mean, if you were doing the Mount Rushmore of like TV geniuses,
yes,
I think he has to be on it. I mean, that's actually a good future topic. What's your Mount Rushmore of TV geniuses? But he was writing like 75% of the Twilight Zone every season back when they did 39 episodes a season. No wonder that guy smoked 600 cigarettes a day. You needed to stay awake to write it. I mean, it's insane. And wrote Planet of the Apes, by the way, one of the best sci-fi movies of all time.
Yeah.
So yeah, those old ones, they did set the standard. And just as a quick side note, how weird was it back in the 60s that Alfred Hitchcock would do a TV show? I mean, he was a huge director and TV was a brand new medium. So like, again, I mean, he's looked at it and said, I can do some stuff with this.
Yeah.
There was a weird show, Ange, you might know, and I think I got the name right, but I know it was in like the 70s, The Night Stalker, where the guy...
Darren McGavin, right?
Yes.
It was on late. Oh, yeah, that was freaky weird.
It was on late, and he was, I don't know if he was a journalist or a lawyer. I'm like trying to remember, but I remember me and my brother never missed it because it dealt with the supernatural. There was always some kind of crazy, like it was a mystery, there was a crime, but it was supernatural, and I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I have to find if it's streaming.
Yeah, I gotta say, I know Night Gallery, I know The Outer Limits, I know Twilight Zone. I never watched The Night Stalker. I should probably check that out.
It's good. It's really weird.
And just one, one I'd like to throw in is a show that I remember from my being when I was very, very young. A show called Soap.
Billy Crystal.
Billy Crystal, the first
Billy Crystal's
in TV history. He was
the first gay character.
Yes, he was.
And it was a takeoff of soap operas. And I knew about soap operas because I watched them with my mom during the day. And watching a night version of it that made fun of it, I think it did a lot to my young mind about being a comedian, because I was like, are you allowed to do this? Are you allowed to make fun of
It was
other shows?
Absolutely hysterical show. I love Soap.
It really is.
Great.
All right, so let's move on to, I'm going to just touch on this briefly because I'm imagining, Angelo, we might talk about this on Friday. The Eagles-Dallas game got the biggest ratings of an NBC Sunday night game in 7 years. The highest streaming in the history of NBC as well. 6 million people watched it on streaming, which is huge. And it just got me to thinking, like, when I'm driving in the car and a song comes on the radio, it somehow makes me happier if it's one of my favorite songs than if I'm just playing it on my phone. And the reason why is I picture everybody else in cars next to me listening to the same song, and I go, oh, this is cool. We're all sort of enjoying this together. It feels more communal. And we've talked on the radio show a lot, Angelo, about the communal experience of sports as being the last true communal experience. And I'm just wondering, and again, I would probably pitch this and get laughed out of the room if I was doing this on TV. Would a show do well? Would something happen to a TV show if they went in and said, we're going to do it live, and we're not going to put it on demand for 6 months. You can't watch it unless you watch it live for 6 months. Do you think that would do well, that people kind of crave that, or do they crave the convenience far more than they crave anything else?
I think convenience. That to me, it works in sports because sports, it's the reason sports radio is still such a big thing, because the immediacy of it. It doesn't apply to anything else that I can see. I guess CNN, that kind of thing. No, I'll tell you what, when I'm streaming a show and they're giving me one episode a week, I'm annoyed. I want to binge it. Really? I didn't even know the Watcher gave you all the episodes. And I went, you watched them all. Jay watched them all on a plane. Yeah. To me, the convenience of that supersedes the communal experience. I'm past that.
I will tell you what I like about the Mayor of Eastwick and Only Murders in the Building. I love that it's once a week, because I sit down, Only Murders in the Building, I sit down, we look forward to it, we plan it, we've got ice cream, we've got popcorn, and it's like a 25-minute show. But I love that. The Mayor of Eastwick had me fascinated, because I was like, oh my God, I can't wait till next week. So I kind of did like knowing that everybody was getting it on the same day. So that it's not the same as sports, but the fact that it was I heard somebody say, well, just wait, let the whole show run and then watch it, binge it all at once. I think it made me like those shows more, because I was only getting them once a week.
It does, I will say I love the streaming version of it as well, that you can get them all at once. That when Netflix first started doing that, it was like a godsend. But sometimes that can get a little numbing, especially with a show that's, got a lot going on. Like Succession is a show that I absolutely adore. It's the thing I'm most looking forward to this fall, is watching Succession again. And the fact that it's week to week, I kind of like reading the recap the next day and reading the reviews and seeing the discourse on Twitter, everybody talking about it. It kind of makes me feel like, oh, this is a thing I'm enjoying with all of my internet friends. Yes. And if I worked in a regular office, I think it'd be cool if there was like somebody at the office that also watched it to come in Monday morning and go, did you see last night? Oh my God. So I'm with you on the convenience, but there is some kind of indelible aspect of, getting it, thinking about it, wondering what's going to happen all week, and then getting it on Monday or Sunday and going, here it is. It's great. So yeah, I'm with you on, I could see both sides of it, but yeah. All right. British segment from Rhea. Yes. I don't know if you saw, Rhea. There's a British TV week coming on the Ringer this week.
Okay.
Yeah, it's all British shows. They do a ranking of the best coats in British television because they all wear those fancy coats.
They have amazing coats, I will say that.
Yeah, so just as a segment for you to check out when we're not on. What do you got for us this week?
Okay, I have this show called A Confession. It's on Prime. It has a 93% rating on Rotten Tomatoes, so it was very well received. It's about a detective who solves the unfortunate kidnapping and murder of a 22-year-old woman. When he gets to the suspect and he's talking to him, the suspect offers to tell him where he's buried another body. And throughout the show, they're mixing in where this one mother, her daughter went missing, 10 years ago. And every year she puts out a cake, and, her family's just frustrated with the fact that she hasn't accepted that this daughter's probably dead. And so the suspect offers to show him where he buried the other body, but he has to break every rule and regulation to get that, because he wants to give closure to the family. What you learn through some of these kind of shows is missing is sometimes almost as bad as murdered, because you never find out what happens. Like the Watcher, we don't really know what happened. So, and there was actually a massive public outcry, because a lot of people thought this I believe he gets fired in it, should have gotten a medal, because he was able to find out other things. And the star of it, you'll recognize. If you like the Hobbit trilogy, he's Bilbo in that.
He's Martin. He's from The Office.
Martin Freeman, from The Office. He only did a couple episodes. If you remember the movie, which everybody knows, Love Actually, this is him as a young actor.
Him. I like.
Well,
him.
Ange, he's the guy in Love Actually who plays a stand-in at porn movies, and he meets his girlfriend. It's a really funny, funny role. Yeah,
he's John Krasinski in the original Office.
Correct. Yeah, correct.
He's terrific. I think he's one of the best actors in the game. I love
him.
He's
one of the best British actors out there. He stars in Sherlock, which I will do at some point. He's Dr. Watson. He is phenomenal. I think that's why you see the rating on it 93%. But it's based on a true story, and they pretty much stick to it. It is really, really 6 episodes on Prime.
Yeah, I'll have to check that out. He's going to be in Wakanda Forever next month. Yeah, he's fantastic. Yeah, that gets me really intrigued. Him and the plot does too. But yeah, he's one of my favorite actors. He's great. He was Tim in the original Office. Became Jim when he came over. Weird change. I don't know why they changed that. And Dawn became Pam. Little things. I don't care.
Yeah.
All right. So teen TV. Rhea, you have one. I have one. I have a recommendation when you're finished that I think everybody will like.
Well, this is actually a movie, but it's on Netflix. So it's one that Clark and I found, and the two of us loved it. I know Angelo did not like it because I talked with him about it previously. It's called The Atom Project with Ryan Reynolds. Yeah. Okay, he plays a time-traveling pilot who comes back in time and teams up with his younger self. And I want to say the kid was 12 years old. So when Clark and I watched it, he was 12. He, just turned 13. The banter between the older, Ryan Reynolds, the older actor, and the younger actor, I wrote his name down because he was really good. Walker Scobell, absolutely fantastic. 74% rating on Rotten Tomatoes audience meteor. The critics didn't love it as much, but here's what I'll tell you. If you're going to sit down with your teenager and you want to have a movie that you're both going to enjoy for the banter, a little sentimentality, a lot of action that, the teenager wants. I thought Jennifer Garner plays his mom. Okay. The interesting part is there's a scene in a bar where Jennifer Garner is there and the older Ryan Reynolds, he clearly knows that's his mom. She does not. It's a phenomenal scene. It's really, really good. And Zoe Saldana is in it. She's gorgeous. I just loved it. The two of us absolutely enjoyed it. It's little less than 2 hours. Really entertaining, fun movie.
And Rhea, I saw this movie. We talked about it on air a while ago. It's one of the only action movies that I ever cried at. And
there is a sentimental part. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I lost my dad, I guess, 6 years ago now, but I guess you never get over it. It's that when it's there, I won't spoil it for you.
We're not giving anything away. Yeah. The father dies is an early part of the plot, like 5 minutes in. So we're part of it. We're not giving anything away.
I was like, and I cried pretty easily anyway. So my daughter, my 11-year-old, hates it. She's like, "You're a baby," because she doesn't cry at anything. She's a cold stone killer. But I cried at the end. It's a very good.
And Mark Ruffalo plays the father. And he's fantastic. Yeah.
I watch anything he's in. He's a phenomenal actor. Angelo, you didn't like the Atom Project?
No. I love Jennifer Garner and obviously Ryan Reynolds because of the Wrexham thing. But no, I don't know. That's not my genre. I'm really weird that way. I like women's stuff. I like relationship movies. I like chick flicks.
This was totally a relationship movie, but it was a relationship between like a father.
Yeah, I don't
father
with laser weapons.
The stuff that got back in time, that also has been played out for me a lot. Yeah. The early version and the later version, it didn't work for me.
I have a quick recommendation. Lego Masters is on its third season on Hulu. It's basically like any one of those competition shows where you're baking or whatever, except it's building with Legos. So they're given hey, you got to make a spaceship. They're all like really good at building with Legos. They grab the thing. It's hosted by Will Arnett, that you might know from Arrested Development. And he kind of cuts through it. He's very sarcastic. He's very funny because it's produced by Brad Pitt's company, Plan B. So Brad Pitt brings in a lot of big stars. Chris Pratt was just on the last episode. They were doing a dinosaur episode. So you get a lot of big names coming in and out. It's a kind of gentle show, just like Great British Bake Off is, where it's not like nobody's mean. They don't attack anybody. It's very positive. And if you have a son in your life that likes Legos, and if you have a son, you have a son in your life that likes Legos, it's great. They love it. So,
I will say one thing about Legos, because they're pricing themselves out of the market. Clark absolutely his entire life has loved Legos. We go into Target, we go into Walmart. Unless he's buying one for a 4-year-old, they're $70 and up.
Yeah,
I mean, they're pricing themselves out. I mean, if I want to get him a cool one, he knows the cool one he's going to get on his birthday or Christmas because it's $100. Otherwise, he's going to get something the size of a TV remote, and that's $25. They're pricing themselves out of the market.
I told my son it would be cheaper if he got a cocaine addiction. In all honesty, not that I want him to. I'm just saying, economically speaking, it would be less damaging if he just got addicted to cocaine. So that's worth checking out. Angelo, what do you got for us this week? What are you watching? What do you like?
Couple of updates. My wife and I are addicted. Thank you, Jay. Never Have I Ever is terrific.
Oh, I'm so glad you love it.
Amazing.
Oh, that is such a great show. And I don't know how it slipped. I got 3 seasons to binge, and I'm almost done with the first, and it holds up great.
John McEnroe, do you love McEnroe?
I love McEnroe. They brought in the guy from Saturday Night Live.
Andy Samberg.
Yeah, Andy Samberg did one of them. It's just really terrific. It's so different and a kid high school show, but it's engrossing. It's great.
Yeah. Mindy Kaling is fantastic. I love Mindy Kaling. So good.
The Patient still stinks. This is the kind of thing I believe I'm going to watch it to the end of the season and then kill myself. It's awful. I want to see Steve Carell get out from the bed. He's been chained to a bed for 9 episodes. It's awful.
Thrilling.
Rhea, Steve Carell needs a new agent. He's doing cartoons now and awful projects like The Patient. And I got a great movie recommendation. It's gotten mixed reviews. It's really, really good. Luckiest Girl Alive.
With Mila Kunis.
Mila Kunis.
Oh, yeah, I saw the preview.
I've never really loved her in anything until this. She's phenomenal in it. She is so good in it. And it's just...
What is it about? Because I saw the preview, the trailer, and I couldn't figure out what it was about.
It's about this woman who's dealing with... I don't want to give too much of it away. It's a drama set in New York with a young couple and this girl who has been harboring food problems and all sorts of mental issues. But you root for her. You wanted to succeed. You want this to work out for her. And she's got this jackass fiance. It's really, I'm telling you, you know what it is? It's a good story, well told. That's all it is. An hour and a half, an hour and 40 minutes, and it's just a good story. They don't make movies like this very often anymore. No.
Is this Netflix, Angelo?
It is Netflix, and I highly recommend it. I just think it's a great story. You'll love it.
I'm gonna watch it today. I got nothing to do. Yeah, I can't wait. So finally, I just wanted to chat real fast about a phenomenon that I've been wasting my life on. And you guys have actual lives, so you don't know about these. There is a trend on YouTube where they do when I say deep dive, I mean the shortest is an hour and a half. The longest is 6 hours, where they will go through, and Quinton Reviews, I want to shout out, does this. If you want to look him up. The other one is Jose. If you just put Jose and TV retrospective, here's what they do. They find, they'll do Cheers. They do an hour and a half on Cheers. They'll go through every season. They'll show you the highlights of the seasons, talk about the themes, talk about what's going on behind the scenes. It's like a documentary, really, except the only thing it's talking about is the show. And for me, I love Cheers. I'm never going to go back and watch all 11 seasons. That's a big commitment, but I'll watch this over the course of a few days and I'll be like, oh, it's all right. That reminds me of all my favorite things from Cheers, all of the overarching plot lines, and some interviews with the cast and crew. They're fantastic. But I know in my heart of hearts, I'm wasting my life. I know that, if my wife asked me what I did and I said I watched a 6-hour retrospective of a Disney show, I would be divorced luckily she's not listening to this, or she would divorce me immediately.
She would tell you need a day job, is what she would tell you.
And I'll just tell her I'm doing research. So my two questions.
I'm insulted, Jay. Jay, I'm insulted because
how so?
You're embarrassed that you spent 6 hours. I binged all 11 seasons over the past 6 months. So how much do I have going on in my life? If I had the time to watch an 11 season, there were 28, 30 episodes a season. I went through it, no problem. I got nothing going on. Nothing. I didn't even hesitate to do it. And it was good.
You know what, Angela? I feel a lot better. That makes you feel really good.
I got to remember, because I'm not sure you remember this, Jay. Let me review what we're recommending.
Sure. Yeah.
The Watcher on Netflix. Netflix had a good week for us, by the way. Never Have I Ever's on Netflix. Luckiest Girl Alive is on Netflix. A Confession is on Amazon Prime. The Adam Project is on Netflix, and Lego Masters is on Hulu. And we recommend them all, some with reservations.
Yes.
Guys, thank you so much.
You got it.
We'll see you next week. I'll be still in Vegas, so you'll have to put up with my voice not sounding great for one more week. Thank you, guys.
And say hi to Bambi. Bambi, the showgirl. Enjoy Jay this week.
Thanks, guys. That was awesome. Thank you very much. All right, cool. We're out. Appreciate it, guys. Angelo, I'll talk to you Friday, and then I'll
send you some stuff tomorrow. You're on the right track. We'll talk about the Eagles-Dallas game and other sports stuff. A lot of sports.
Sounds good.
All right, have a great show.
Thanks, guys. I'll see you
tomorrow,
next week, too.
Bye-bye.
All right, you got it. Bye.
Guys.